So welcome to today's session on talking about using Canvas Commons. It is something that I think is a nice feature of Canvas, but it's probably something that a lot of people have not explored really. And on the dashboard for my course, you always have the blue sidebar over here on the left, and we call that the site navigation menu. So no matter where you go inside of Canvas, you always have that blue sidebar that's available for you to use to navigate. And one of the options will be Commons. So let's talk about exactly what is Canvas Commons. It's a great place where teachers can share information. There's different purposes you might use Commons, but a common reason is that people love to share their work with other teachers. There are also reasons too, you want to maybe share it out to another district or to a teacher in another state or something of that nature. And Commons is a way to kind of provide a workaround. But the main purpose of Commons, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it over here in the blue sidebar for the site navigation. The real purpose for Commons is for people to collaborate and share. So let's let that go ahead and load. Oh, great. We've still got people joining us. So we are now in the Canvas Commons space. So the first thing I'm going to point out is you may see different things here on the page. And the thing about Canvas Commons, people can share individual items such as assignments or quizzes, modules, that type of stuff. But a teacher also could choose to share an entire course that he or she has put together. So Canvas Commons is really a collection of all varieties of different types of things that you might find. So you are able to, when you're in Canvas Commons, to filter by grade level. You can filter by content. You could also filter, in this case, and you may see it right here, Fayette County Public Schools. I am not sure about you guys, but for me, definitely as administrator in the district, it will always default to searching in Fayette County Public Schools. So I want to say this, if you open the Canvas Commons and you see that it has all grade levels and it has Fayette County Public Schools, but then you go search for something, you may try to search for something and be like, well, they don't have anything on this topic. That's not really the case, or might not be the case. Maybe I should say that. You need to remove some of these filters, or at least the Fayette County filter, and get rid of this X right here. So it's not just searching in Fayette County. Whatever you see on these filters is where this search bar here is looking. So if I start looking for agriculture, maybe I'm looking for a course, okay? I see that in Fayette County Public Schools, in grades K through 12, at least one person in our district has put a module up here on agriculture. If I take off Fayette County Public Schools, I should now see a way broader amount of stuff, all right? So you can see that right now on the screen. So it's all about your filtering and what you have turned on and what you search. So let's think about this. I probably have some people out there who are French teachers, and maybe they want to look up French culture. They can begin browsing into these items and taking a look at what might be available. So let me point out some stuff to you here. When you look at these items, I want you to notice course, course. This one's an entire course, entire course. But when you get down to this row, notice this is an individual one discussion. This is an assignment, another course, and this is a module. So this module has a collection of different items in it. So we're going to take a look, because I do have a caveat I want to point out to you. Let's take a look at the module about learning about e-learning for CRIPS. And I know I'm not even saying that right. I had French at one time in college and I remember nothing. So something that came to Canvas in the past year that I'm very, very grateful for is the preview option. So it says there's one module that contains one assignment and one file. And it's giving us a preview here. So the only thing inside this module looks like, to me, from what I can see, they made a module with one assignment and they stick a file in it. And that may be fine. It's not really what I consider a module, because it looks like to me it's a single assignment. So let me go back and let's take a look at this assignment. So this says assignment, but this one said module. All right. So here's a preview of the assignment. They even have a rubric attached to it. So if you chose to download this into your course, and that's what the great thing is about these modules and these items, is that when teachers share anything from a course to an assignment, the ultimate capability is that you can import or download this into one of your courses, and then you can use it as it is, or you can begin editing it so it becomes your own item, which is super, super nice idea, because sometimes you might find some really great information here. I'm going to scroll back up to the top, and you may notice the button here. It says back to search. So let's do another search. One of the things I was going to do before we had to dismiss for NTI, and actually the week before that I was sick, not with COVID. I was sick with allergies and lost my voice, but I was supposed to go to Locust Trace, our Agri-Science Center, and train them on how to use Canvas. And so one of the things I did was I went into the Commons because I wanted to show them some maybe examples that felt more like what they teach. And so I found they had this on Alaska Veterinary Technology, different things on being a veterinarian and so forth. Here's a quiz. It says Equine Breed ID quiz. So I'm thinking if you're here in Lexington and you're out at Locust Trace Agri-Science, for example, this might be something that would be usable. So we're going to go in and take a look at it. It says it has a quiz, and with the quiz, there's 11 files associated with it. If we were to choose to import or download this into our course, we would get all that information. So I'm just going to scroll down so you can see some of the preview. You can see in this case, the person who created this also included pictures. All right. So remember what I said, if we downloaded this, it's possible to use it as it is and change nothing other than maybe tweak the due date and stuff like that, or maybe how many points you want it to be worth. But you could also take it and edit it, make it your own. You could add questions, delete, change some of the answers, and so forth. I'm going to return to the top of the page and click on back to search. Now, I've searched for 2 items, and maybe I'm looking for cells, science people out there. This is not my strength, but I'll go ahead and do a search. So far we've done a couple topics just to kind of show you the items that are out here. I've now done the thing on cells. But at this point, you notice that I'm looking at all grade levels. And it could be you're like, well, you know, when we talk about cells, I really need it for my high school class. We can go to the top right where it has the filter button. And you can uncheck or check, depending on what the setup is, and narrow down to exactly the grade levels you would like to find. Notice it says all, and it says that because I removed, and remember I clicked that X and got rid of Fayette County Public Schools. I do want to search all sources. All right, it says view only these types. I didn't mean to do that. So notice it has now narrowed it down. It shows you it's only 11th and 12th grade. It's narrowed it down to 555 results. So here's my caveat, and let's see what this one. This says this is a module. Now notice the difference between this module and that French one that I showed you where I said it really only had an assignment in it. This module has 5 assignments, it has 2 quizzes and 3 files. It gives you a preview that you could take a look at. So you can see this is an assignment on diffusion. They're sending them out to a BrainPop. Teachers even giving them the login credentials, which I don't know. That's interesting that she chose to put those credentials there and share them out on Commons. You know, we really shouldn't be using those, assuming that she's paying for her BrainPop. But anyway, whatever. You could try it too, I guess. I don't know. But it says it gives the kids directions. What do they want them to do? There's a score sheet and so forth. Now, you may not be seeing every last little detail, but you're getting that preview, if you remember me talking about that. If I click back on the assignments, I can go in and take a look at each separate one. I swear, is that the same one I clicked on? I was trying to be different. So here's one, a test, cells, organelles, even though it says it's an assignment. But notice this, and this is where it gets into my caveat. Do you see this? So right now, I don't know if the preview is not giving me the assignment, but what I suspect could be going on is that the teacher created in her module, she created an assignment, but she may not have put anything in the assignment as far as directions and content and stuff like that. So when I talk about a caveat, that's something you need to keep in mind when using Canvas Commons. Some people put stuff up there and they share it to Commons. It's not necessarily good quality. It's not even necessarily complete. So I really, really recommend that, first of all, you preview if you do nothing else. Don't blindly just go importing and downloading, and we are going to take a look at that, so don't worry. We'll take a look at how to do that. But don't just blindly do it, because you could end up with a bunch of junk, and I really do mean that. You need to vet, look, check it out before you get into any particular thing. Because if I go, and let's do this right now, let's go ahead and import this item that says it's an assignment. Well, it's actually going to probably bring in the entire module. I'm going to go over here to the right side, and you may have already noticed it up here on my screen. But there's a blue button that says Import Download. I'm going to click on that. Now it's asking me which course in my Canvas installation for me, which course do I want to place this item into? Where do I want to put it? So I am going to put it into my playground, kind of my sandbox. I am a big believer, unless I know for a fact that it's exactly what I want. A lot of times I will check things out in my playground or sandbox. If there are any of you who don't have that set up in Canvas, all you have to do is go to your dashboard, start a new course, and you can make a manual course, create it by hand, and make a course that's called Sandbox, Playground. I usually do that and then put my last name with it. As you can see here, I've got Playground Setzer. I'm going to click the blue button here, Import into Course, and then we'll take a look. It tells you if you started the import. Obviously, the bigger the content, if it's an entire course that's really and truly got a lot of stuff in it, it's going to take longer to download. The shorter the item, the shorter the time it should be. So let's go see if Playground Setzer, if this item has showed up. You can see I've got a couple playgrounds. So I'm going to open Playground Setzer. And that item was on sales. So I'm going to show you something here. I'm on the home page, which currently, and since this is my playground, it's also the same thing as my modules. Some of you probably already have your courses you've seen. They're set up like that, unless you deliberately change and make a front page or something. Now remember that item was about sales. I'm going to kind of scroll down here slowly. So far, I'm not seeing anything about sales. Until I get to the bottom. Now you remember that that was a module that I imported. And I told you, I said, even though I was looking at that assignment, I thought it was going to come in as the module, which is exactly what it did. It's bringing you everything that was associated. So since it was a module, it placed it at the very bottom of our module list inside of the course, my playground in this case. So now if I click on it, the first item I should say, which is an assignment, I can take a look at this and go, okay. If I click next, let's go to the next item in the module. So look at this, turn and complete a lab packet. That's not very useful to you if you're a science teacher probably. You know, you're teaching a high school course. That's a situation where that was very connected to that particular teacher. Whoever, for whatever reason, included that, she uploaded it into Commons. To me, it's just not worth a lot. So in this case, it looks like the teacher has included a slide deck. So there could be, if you're a high school teacher, maybe some of this is usable. It looks to me like, yeah, the teacher did this live or something, or saved this off maybe like a smartboard situation, smart projector situation or something, or maybe they tried to do it live on the slides themselves. I can't tell. But anyway, you know, they've included that. So I'm going to go ahead and close that and come back to the course. I'm actually going to go back to the module list. Scroll back down. So I'm going to stop for a moment before I continue and see if you have any questions. You can unmute or you can use the chat. If I don't hear or see anything, I'll figure you're hanging tough right now and you feel like you are kind of understanding things. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to Commons. So I've shown you how I downloaded this entire module that this teacher shared. So she's got a quiz here. So you as teacher, after you download it, you need to go through and you need to double check and see. You preview it, obviously, like I mentioned. But after the download, you better check it. Because one, can you use it as is? Do some things need to be deleted? Like I would get rid of that turn in your science journal or whatever that one, or lab notes or whatever it said. Do you need to edit some things? You know, you need to investigate. I'm going to go back to Commons over here in the sidebar, site navigation. Notice how when mine comes back up, it always defaults back to Fayette County Public Schools. I don't know if that does it for our Fayette County teachers. I'm not sure about that yet. If it does and you're wanting to search everything, remember you want to remove that. So at least you're searching all grade levels for whatever content that you may be looking for. If you're a teacher, maybe English teacher, for example, and just in case, I don't know if I have anybody here who is elementary, but I just realized that, you know, the common stuff is not just limited to older stuff. Now, I don't know if American Revolution has. Okay, perfect. So I want to say this, Canvas can be used with elementary, so don't ever, if this is something you decide you're interested, you can use this with elementary. We have it open to all grade levels. I know that a lot of elementary people use Google Classroom, and that is fine, and that's often where we might start teachers, but I have some teachers that prefer as elementary teachers. They like the organizational capabilities. Seesaw is very nice, Rosa, but they like the organizational capabilities of Canvas. So let's say that I want to look for American Revolution, and I'm elementary. I'm going to filter that, and I'm going to start getting rid of the grade levels that aren't going to do me much good if I really want to find something for elementary. Maybe I'll leave 4th, and maybe I'll leave 6th, okay? All right, so now you'll see I'm now down to 90 results for grades 4, 5, and 6. And just FYI, if I go back into filter, you know what, I'm going to wait and show you that. Give me just a moment. But anyway, you can now go in. We have courses, quizzes, modules. Here's an assignment on the causes of the American Revolution, and so forth. You may remember before I noticed that there was a discussion. Here's an individual video. All kinds of different things that you might decide that you would like to check into. So I showed you that module before for sales. Let's take a look at an individual item, such as a quiz. So I want to choose this American Revolution test. Let's see if it's any good in the preview. So in the preview, I see that looks like a fairly robust quiz or test, okay? So if I decide I would like to download that, okay, I might say, you know, this looks promising. I think I can use some of these questions or whatever. I'm going to repeat this now. I'm going to go to import download. That's what I did before for modules. I'm also going to put that into my playground. Now, if you have a course and you're ready, you feel pretty good about this quiz, you may choose to put it directly into your course. That's fine. I'm just going to put it in my playground for Setzer, okay? And then I'm going to click the blue button, import into course. So while that's working, that one should be even faster than that module because it's a single quiz. I'm going to open up Playground Setzer. I'm going to go back to the module list. Scroll down. Now, anything you bring in anywhere will always go to the bottom in Canvas. You may have already seen that if you've been using Canvas. Do you see American Revolution? No, you do not. So here's something that I think everybody gets a little confused. We always teach you to build in modules, and that is the best thing to do. And when I downloaded something a minute ago, I downloaded an entire module. So it was at the bottom of my module list. But remember, this time I downloaded a quiz. A quiz will not import into this modules area. A quiz is going to import into the quizzes area. A lot of people will think they have lost, all right, they'll think they have lost their item that they downloaded. And I just noticed that one didn't go to the bottom. Interesting. I don't know, it usually goes to the bottom. In this case, if you notice the quizzes, see, I no sooner get done saying that than they've changed something, it's at the top. But anyway, because it was a quiz, it's going to download to the quiz. An assignment will download into the assignment section, discussions into discussions, and so forth, if you see what I'm saying. If I'm in the modules and I want to now bring that quiz into the modules area, and maybe I'm building here for Frederick Douglass, for example. We'll pretend like that's something. I can go in and click the plus. I can go down to quiz. Many of you are used to new quiz, but guess what? That American Revolution test is living inside of the quiz area. You can select it just like we could have selected the cell unit review quiz that was downloaded with that module from before. But I can select the American Revolution test, and now if I add it, it lives in the quizzes area here, right here. But it also now is connected into the modules because I brought it in and connected it. Any questions about that? I'm just going to be honest with you. When I first started playing with Commons, I was freaked out because I'm like, I have lost that thing. I downloaded that. I'm crazy. I cannot find it. And then I realized I kept going to modules because I always build in modules. I wasn't thinking about that a quiz would go into the quizzes section and then I'm going to have to bring it out. So hopefully I will save you the grief and aggravation that I was suffering. I thought I'd run mad or something when I couldn't find my stuff. I'm going to go back to Commons through the site navigation here on the left. And I do want to go into the filter button. It's what I got ready to show you a moment ago, and I stopped myself. I'm going to click on the filter button. You can also filter, guys, by different items. So if you really are only looking for, say, I don't know, maybe you're looking for a single assignment on a topic, and you only want it for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, perhaps. Okay, you want to make sure it goes to all and not just Fayette County. Now I'm ready to search, and maybe I am an art teacher and I'm covering Picasso. Not a whole lot, as you can see. Now if I expand that, it's possible that if I go up a 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, maybe I'll get some more. No, which, you know, it's Picasso, not necessarily an artist that gets taught in public school or whatever. So maybe I do landscape as an art teacher. You can see now I've got a lot more, well, a lot being relative, 12 more. I've got 12 results that perhaps I can use. But remember, I only chose assignment. That's narrowed me down literally to only these types of items. And if I click on the Claude Monet and Impressionism, and I want to preview, perfect. I was hoping we would, oh, okay. I thought it was going to be one of those where it had nothing, like that one I showed you. But this one is, you know, make sure, so it looks like in the assignment there are videos and so forth. That could be it, Lynn. They're not willing to share their content. I have to tell you, I worked with an art teacher at Deep Springs Elementary. She's still there, and she has amazing content, particularly how she integrates it into the regular areas of reading and math and science and history. She's really good. But anyway, it's got some information. If you decided you liked it, once again, you could come back to the import download. I'm going to go back to search because there's one thing I want to double check and make sure I tell you about. Let's talk about entire courses. All right, so I'm going to go back to the filter and let's go to courses. I'm going to uncheck assignments. And let's say that I'm looking for, I'm going to work in the high school area, and I want to search entire courses. Now, this to me is still, notice the word up here is still landscape. This is not what an art teacher would be looking for. So obviously not every search term is necessarily something you're going to find. But let's say you're an English teacher or a librarian and you want to do some stuff on fake news. These things are here for you. But notice that I filtered by courses. So let's go to fake news and you. Now notice, see the difference in this? It's a course. And in this course, this person has arranged 3 modules: fake news, hoax images, parody, and satire. Within a module, you're going to have pages and assignments and discussions. So it's showing you the 3 modules, but it's also showing you what individually is inside of that module. But when you import and download, all of those items will come with the course. You're not separating those out. My guess is if we did a separate search for assignment, you might, in fact, I think that might be the one that popped up when I did the landscape. No, I'm not sure about that. But this individual assignment may live by itself as fake news in you. Or I should say, yeah, fake news probably may live somewhere as an individual assignment on the Commons. But anyway, if I decide I like this, I'm ready to import. But I'm going to give you a caution right now on this. Everything I've shown you before has been into an existing course. So my caution is this: if you decide to download an entire course, you need to first create your shell or your place where this entire course is going to go live. Do that before so that it's on your list over here for you to select and download. There are some courses on here that have huge amounts of information and content. I'm talking about lots of stuff. If you take an existing course and then you download another course into a course you've already got stuff in, content in, it's going to create a real mess. So my big takeaway on this is if you decide to download an entire course, you need to first go over here to your dashboard. It's working. You're either going to choose a blank Infinite Campus created course, or you could start a new course and you can name it. You might call it Sandbox and then put a name out from it so you kind of know and check it out. That's just my caveat there on that. So I'm going to stop for a second and see what questions that you may have. Does anyone have a concept or a term in a grade level you'd like me to search really quickly for you? Okay, so the other thing I want to show you before we leave is that you can also, people often share templates on here on Commons, and I actually created some course templates, page templates, I guess really, for Fayette County teachers if they wanted them. So in this case, you'll see Fayette County, once again, it's always going to default, at least for me. I'm not sure about you. But if I put NTI course and hit enter, you'll see that it has my name on it, and if you choose to upload into Commons, it's going to have your name. And, okay, and you could select one of these, and what I set up for you is kind of a little, I worked with Soraya Matthews on this, and we created sort of a little template for you. You will, if you download this, you're going to get this on your home page, and you can edit this. So I've already I put in the images and the colors. I put in some icons for you. And if you download this, you can make this your home page on your course. So you have a pretty landing page. You could click inside of this and change your name. It won't say Miss Teacher. You could put your name. You could change the name of the course. You could delete all this out and edit. But anyway, you would get this page, but you will also get, and this is where Soraya liked, she wanted to give teachers a structure. So you can edit any parts of this stuff that you see, any of this. So you could keep this bar if you wanted to, change the Unit 2.1 read and change it to whatever you want it to be. You could make copies of these pages and so forth. I'll go back to search. I did the same with math, created you, hopefully. Some of you are going to want to play in design, and in May I am going to be offering a session on how to kind of pretty up your course if you're interested. But some people don't want to fool with it, and they're like, you know what, I'm busy, I just really don't need this. And so, there it is. I was looking for welcome. So see, it follows the same structure as the English, but I changed coloring and put an appropriate graphic up. But anyway, I wanted you to know those templates are there. And if you took it off Fayette County Schools, or if you even did templates, you might find something out there for your use. See how these have? If I wanted to filter, and maybe I'm back to elementary and I'm really wanting my kids to, oops, I meant to keep that. So if I'm curious about what this template looks like, here's a K-3 template. Let's see what they've got, if anything. Okay, so there's a course homepage. So let's see. Check this out, guys. So if you're an elementary teacher, you can download this template. You will get these pictures, and then you can edit and so forth. Now, students won't get to Commons, Rosa. They won't be able to use something like this. This is for teachers. So no student would be living here. Does that answer your question? They are not able to do here. And you won't have that. Students now, if you're talking about students are going to be working inside of your course. So once you have created a course or whatever, that's where they're going to be, okay? Okay. Yeah, so, oh, sorry guys, my cat is coming to visit. I apologize. Let me get her down. She is very intrigued by my situation here. All right, well, if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. And please let me know if you're curious about anything, and just shoot me a question through email. I hope you all take care. Have a good one.